which
kinda-
God knows we need more of that these days,
Yeah.
not less.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I think they just turned the mics on.
Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, good evening, everyone. Agenda item number 3. It is recommended that the Board of Education call the regular meeting of the Ottawa Elementary School District number 141's Board of Education to order and authorize the Board Secretary to call the roll. Madam Secretary.
Mr. Donahue?
Here.
Mrs. Kimes?
Here.
Mrs. Johnson?
Here.
Mr. Gainier?
Here.
Mrs. Manigold?
Here.
Mrs. Gainier?
Here.
Mr. Conley?
Here. Agenda item number 4, our favorite part of the day, our recognition of our special guests. And we will start with our champion of the charter, Mr. Vian.
Hello, everybody. Looks like we have one of our guests here with us today. I am proud to welcome Ana Fuentes. Ana has been chosen as a March champion of charter. As a March champion, Ana has been recognized for her ability to handle stress, manage her time and her behavior in a positive manner. Ana is the daughter of Santiago and Sandra Fuentes. Ana enjoys spending time with her friends in her free time and playing volleyball. Advice that Ana would give future Shepherd students is to be a successful Shepherd student, do your homework, pay attention, and if you have Mr. Baker as a teacher, do not make him mad. Disclaimer, this advice was given Clarence to be shared by Mr. Baker himself. Ana's hero is Miss Peel because she helps her with homework, gives her candy, and makes her laugh. When Miss Peel is around, she always makes Ana's day better. Her favorite Shepherd memory thus far is going to Phi Delta and being able to have fun with friends. Ana would like you to know that she enjoys being with her family, especially her little brother and nephew. Congratulations, Ana. At this time, I would like to welcome Mr. Nate Pinter, principal at Jefferson Elementary.
If I could get the Jefferson kiddos down here. Hold on, I just gotta give her. All right, these are our very proud to recognize our Jefferson March Champion of the Charter members. First, we have Liam Peterson. Next, we have Barrett Brosman. Next, we have Sloan Willman. While she's going through it, I'm going to read some names that aren't here. Zoe Casey, Jack Johnson, Dominic Crotty, Noah Rodriguez, Addie Zaborak, Colette Kinney, Johnny Wagan, Henley Leo, Avalon Tipton. And a couple more not here. Itzel Martinez, Parker Cronk, Clark Casey, Maxon Holloway, and last but not least, Marcos Rabadon. And now I'm going to turn it over to the principal at Central, Mrs. Carrie Price.
If any Central champions of the Charter snuck in, if you could please come forward. All right. So the following students earned Champion of the Charter for March: Izzy Bear, Maya Burke, Hunter Cooper, Amelia Harstead, Nora Canellis, Genevieve Flieger, Lilia Rizzo, Milo Rodriguez, Corbin Rutherford, Riley Schneider, Marin Terry, Todd Thornton, Kali Tran, Eli Woodard, Devin Yanko, and Addie Zellers. Congratulations to all of our Central champions of the Charter. And now I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Justin Marksman, principal at McKinley.
Good evening. If I could have all of our McKinley Champion of the Charter students come on down here to the front. All right, we're really proud of our March winners. First up, Madeline Martin. Claire Schoen, Semblance Miller, Caden McAlpine, Maverick Elliott, Sarah Franklin, Analia Martinez, Kenneth Garcia Duran, Isabella Keelam Santoy, Miles Paez, Danny Berryman, Grady Nordvet, Austin Kappelman, Brooke Ahern, Evie Anton, Atticus Rubio, and Adam Borostowski. Congratulations to these students. I'll now turn it over to Ms. Hughes and Ms. Uhas from Lincoln.
Can we have all our Lions come up and join us? We are super proud of all of our Lions and especially our champions of the Charter for March. We've got Allison Terpstra. Also not here, but Ezekiel Jones. We've got Zane Seibert. Larkin Noir, Salem Hudkins, Jude Pena. Cade Hayes. Zayla Montez. Noah Young, Elliot Hackler, Paisley Bivens. Lena Pender, Hannah Coulomb, Briar Dunn. Joey Barber. Miles Thompson. Elliot McKinnon and Kane Cawley. So that's all for our K through 4 and preschool.
For preschool, we have Heaven Eakins, Marcus McGeorge. Lainey Cheney, Maverick Jackson, Ari Lou Campos. Alex Miller. Mateo Paez, Crew Fraga, Alexander London. Lilith Brooks and Anastasia Hood. Congratulations to all of our Lincoln Champion of the Charter.
Okay, I want to thank all of the families and friends who came out to support all of our kiddos tonight. You are obviously welcome to stay for as much or as little of the meeting as you would like, but if you have somewhere else to be, now is as good a time as any to move on to the next part of your evening. But thank you very much for coming out and have a great evening.
Smells good. Rose and vanilla.
That makes good sense for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that one a lot. Yeah. Everybody knows. Is it everybody knows now? Is it can hear? I feel like we turned the mics
I
on.
think they did.
Yeah.
I usually leave mine off most of the days. Yeah. It's just Brendan.
It's a good. I might get to mine eventually. Oh, who we got? John. Thank you. It was fun reading. I got mine early. Oh, of course you did. Yeah. See how many of those yes. Thank you.
Okay. Agenda item number 5. This is a facilities assessment presentation by John Morawski from DLA Architects.
I'm actually going to hijack it a little bit. First, thank you. It's an honor to be here tonight and good to see everybody. We were hired to do an assessment report, and so we are here tonight to present that. As we just handed out, that is the full report. You will be happy to know that we're not going to go through the entire report tonight. So we know you probably have families you want to get home to, so we won't take up your whole evening. Basically, our presentation tonight is a summary of that report and then also kind of go through the policy and the procedure, what we did. We were hired to do facilities assessment. We did take a look at all of your facilities within the district, including the district offices. First, I do want to commend the district to implement this tool. It is very valuable for all of the districts that we are involved with. They find it to be very helpful when they are figuring out their budgets for the year, because some of these systems that you have in place in schools cost a lot of money to replace and or to upgrade because everything gets dated and gets old. So roofs are like one of those big ticket items that can cost you a lot of money in one summer, because you do have to replace. Usually you have to replace the roofs at one time since they were put in at one time. So anyway, we did go through all the facilities and have come up with a lot of line items for each school. We are going to present the summary of that tonight and look forward to any questions that you might have after our presentation. My name is Eric Sickbert. I think there's maybe a slide in there for that. Yeah, there. My name is Eric Sickbert. John is going to take the rest of the presentation and go through all the assessments that we did for the district.
Good evening. All right, so what you have in front of you is a very intimidating document, right? It's 151 pages. Okay, so a lot to digest, where to start. What we have is about 7 slides to kind of enter you into the binder, how to navigate through the binder. We have overall summaries, but it's going to take a while for you to digest everything. So like Eric said, we're not going to go page by page unless you have about 10 hours to go through it. So the first slide is basically showing you all the buildings that we tackled. We walked basically every square inch of each building, roofs, outside, facades, parking lots, sidewalks, kind of went through everything. In the binder, you're going to see photos, cost estimates, written narratives for mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and fire protection, kind of everything. So what we're going to show you is basically how to navigate through that. Okay, so our goal was really to go through everything that we can see visually and document it with appropriate cost estimates to help to get through a 5 to 10 year kind of long range plan for you. Like I said, we went through paving, sidewalks, roofs, mechanical. We also went through life safety that was on file and kind of tweaked the existing life safety reports. any ADA concerns, upgrades to flooring, ceiling, cosmetic upgrades, everything like that. So we kind of went through every single room, classroom, gymnasium, anything that we can visually see and put that in a overall spreadsheet. So if you want to skip the 151 pages, this is the main summary, right? This is in one of the first pages in your binder. So how we broke down each building was we focused on the following categories: asphalt concrete, so that's all exterior work; exterior facades, focusing on windows, exterior sealants, soffits, any metal paneling, exterior doors. Roofs is another category. Interiors, so that is all ceiling, flooring, interior doors, casework, science casework, everything like that. Life safety is another item. And then mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and fire protection. That last column is spearheaded by 2010 Engineering. Their reports are inclusive in our binder, and their cost estimates are also inclusive in our cost estimates. So we're not double dipping their numbers. We included their numbers in our estimate. So the breakdown of this spreadsheet is per category in the right-hand side, and then it's also per building. And then you get the grand total in green there, around $29 million. So if you wanted to pinpoint a school, if you wanted to pinpoint life safety items or interiors, this is the main sheet to kind of do that. It has all the summaries of all the buildings on the main, this main sheet, okay? So in the binder, there's tabs per building. One of the first tabs, one of the first sheets in the tab per building is this front summary sheet. So this, again, is the breakdown of all the categories and project types listed on that master sheet. It also breaks down all the life safety items, A, B, and C, as well as the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, fire protection number. We also threw a 20% contingency on the number. So that bottom number that you see in green is the same exact number you see on the master spreadsheet. So that's how the start for each building gives you all the numbers. After the first sheet of the summary, you're going to see a spreadsheet with photos. Each column, so the column on the far left would have an item number. That item number is associated with a photo that has the same item number. So J1 or K1, if you go to the photo, it has the same number. The next column would be the location of that item within the building or outside of the building. The third column would be the concern that we've noticed. Then it goes into the square footage or lineal footage or lump sum. The next column would be the rationale, which is either O&M, an ADA concern, a life safety, capital improvement project. Then we go into comments. So we basically comment on the issue, what we would recommend to fix the issue. And then we put a year. Is it immediate? Is it within the next 5 years? That's the action year. And then we have a cost estimate for that individual line item at the very end. So it's the same categories, but broken down item by item. And again, every single item for the most part has a photo associated with it. So list of items, and then the second after that would be the photos of the items. And this is the same setup for every single building. The administration building, all the school buildings, it's set up the same way. After that, we have our 2010 Engineering mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and fire protection narrative. So they also walked every single square inch of the building, and they have a written summary of what the existing conditions are for mechanical units, how the electrical panels are, how the plumbing's set up, is there fire protection, and then they have recommendations on what to do, either life safety, or is a rooftop unit coming out of its lifespan, what to do to repair that or fix that or replace that. In their summary also is the cost estimate for all the MEP and FP work, but that's included in our estimate. Okay, so from the binder, the main goal is how do we chip away at either projects or tackle things holistically. We didn't focus anything on program, curriculum, future expansion, nothing like that. This is just taking the buildings how they are now, repairs to them, some secured entrances, but nothing about future planning for curriculum or population growth, anything like that. So what we would recommend is basically taking this binder, doing a workshop, figuring out how are we going to piece this together, what are the next steps after that. And that's it. So a lot to digest, a lot to take in. But again, how that binder is set up, building by building, is the same, and kind of wanted to walk you through how we kind of set it up.
And just keep in mind, it is a living document. It's going to change. You never really finish a facility assessment report because things pop up you don't see. Like just talking with Mark beforehand, is that we had a storm sewer pop up through the roof drain, and well, no one looked at the roof drain, or how did you know that a raccoon was stuck in the pipe, right? So things pop up, literally, and you never know, right? So that's why we put it in a 3-ring binder so that you can swap out pages and modify them. We highly recommend that you take a look at this every year while you're looking at your budget for the coming year, so that you can see, oh my gosh, we have to replace a boiler, we have to replace a rooftop unit. So then you can start planning for that and not have an budget expenditure be a surprise, which was always hard and heavy on a budget when you're working through the year. So yeah, John and I are here for any questions that you might have. A lot to digest, a lot to go through. Priorities is one of the things that you might want to take a look at. What do you think is important and what do you think isn't as important? So you can shift that around within that document. And then we could actually, once you get through that, we can have more conversations and start putting it into the years themselves and categorize it per year. So year 2027, here's all the items that you've decided that you want to take care of, and then keep on going and move it out through 10 years. And then we can even have a beyond. Okay, those aren't really that critical to us, so we'll just put it on the beyond year, so we don't need to necessarily save the money or spend the money on those particular items. So that's kind of how the document works. We'll continue to work with you through that process as often as you would like to be involved. So.
I have one question.
Yes.
I have many questions. I've already got it marked. This is an advanced copy in black and white. What I'm missing is your business cards.
Oh, okay.
So if I had one of those, I'll just call you up.
Okay. All right.
Okay?
We can do that.
Okay, thank you.
You betcha. Any other questions? Obviously, you just got dumped a lot of pages and a lot of info in one night. So definitely we'll come back if you want us to answer any questions that you might have.
Okay.
So I noticed in looking through this that, you state when you think it should be done, what year.
Yes.
And obviously, if anything is of, a safety, whatever, it would be done as soon as possible. But these, for the most part, it's just, I don't want to say guesstimate, but it's, some of them should be done sooner rather than later. Some of them are quite expensive, and so pushing that off until we have the money to do something like that.
Yes.
I did look through it. I thought it was very comprehensive. I do have a lot of questions, and I would love, after everybody has a chance to look through it, I think it would be great if we could sit down again and go over some of this stuff. I think it would be wonderful. But I thought it was a very good report. Thank you so much.
Yeah, some items on there, like rooftop units, they do have life expectancies on them. 25 years. Roofs are could be from 15 to 25 to 30-year life expectancy. So that's kind of what we've judged on when they, if it's like water heaters are like 10 to 12 years. So we kind of know that based on history. Been working with schools for a very long time. So every unit, everything has a life to it, right? You can limp along, and sometimes we can, and gives Mark a lot to do to make sure that the unit continues to limp along. So if you don't have the funding for that, that's something that you can certainly do. Because eventually, parts are hard to get.
Yeah.
They don't make that unit anymore, so you can't get the parts for it, that kind of thing. But we can certainly help you walk through all of that.
And I don't know if this is maybe obvious, but these numbers, the actual cost estimates, these are in today's dollars, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So usually about 3 to 5% increase each year you go out. What is that? There was a commercial there about pay me now, pay me later kind of thing. So, yeah.
Okay, any other questions or comments? All right. Well, thank you very much for your work on this and for your presentation. And
Thank you.
we will definitely be continuing this conversation.
Look forward to talking.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Other questions?
All right.
Yeah.
So agenda item number 6, the Right at School presentation.
Thank you. Yes.
I could just use your computer.
Caitlin, we need the Wi-Fi password. Oh, I think if you just do AirPlay,
Thank you.
but I think she has to
I
be.
need to be connected to
Yeah.
the. So too.
It's a cute speed read.
Hello.
Thank
How
you.
are you? Good. How are you? Thank you so much for your help. No problem. I appreciate it.
Look at you, little tech guru.
I know. It's like I get paid for it or
I know.
something.
Oh my
It's
gosh,
crazy.
this is not your volunteer?
No.
Okay, got it.
Do you have notes that you want to read?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. That's my 2-year-old.
Let's do this instead.
That's perfect.
Now that we have your attention. Yes, yeah, that was all planned.
Yes, oh, thank you so much.
You're
Thank you. Hi, good evening, members of the board. Thank you so much for having my partner and I. My name is Allie Vincent. I'm from Right at School. And with me, I have my Senior Vice President of Partnerships, Ms. Emily Keith. And we are really thrilled to be able to talk a little bit more about Right at School and our comprehensive services for before and after school. I also want to thank the members of the community and staff and parents just for welcoming us here tonight. So we're going to get started and just kind of giving you all a high-level overview of what it is that we do at Right at School, what our mission is, and what we really align to with districts. I'm only going to take about 10 minutes of your time. And within that time, we're going to talk about our strategic alignment and what really sets us apart as a comprehensive services provider for before and after school programs, our inclusivity philosophy, all kids are welcome, and then how we collaborate with unions. I know that you have quite a few partnerships with unions, so we want to work really well with them. And then if it makes sense, we can talk a little bit about timeline, but you'll have in front of you a comprehensive custom booklet that goes much, much more into the curriculum piece that I'll talk about, pricing for caregivers and families for the before and after school programs, some samples of agendas that we do. So feel free to flip through that as we go through the next couple of minutes. And then we'll have time at the end for any questions or comments. So I do want to give a high-level overview. If you've never heard of Right at School, we are located in Illinois, in Evanston. That is where our headquarters are, and we love serving our Illinois districts. What we do is we are a fully comprehensive one-stop shop for anything out of school time. So if you think about 365 days worth of coverage, we'll call it 362, right, because of holidays. We want to give you that, you and your caregivers, that full year of coverage. So anything from summer school or summer camps to break camps, winter, spring, fall, to discovery clubs. What we're here to talk about over the next couple of minutes is our Right Club. This is specifically for before school care and after school care, being an extension of your school day while providing a safe and high quality environment for your students. Now, what sets us apart? So I know as a former educator and current parent that there are a lot of options when it comes to before and after school care. And so I wanted to break down just a couple of things that really set us apart that are unique to Ottawa and your students specifically. So I know that there is a newly coming strategic plan. It talks a lot about student growth and extension of the school day. And so first and foremost, I do want to talk about our high quality curriculum and our locally inspired curriculum. So we're in a unique position to where we can curate curriculum and bring in all of these amazing elements to our curriculum to really be an extension of that school day and aid in student academic growth. Superintendent Darlington and I were also specifically talking about mentorship opportunities for your older students. We do have a completely separate curriculum for your 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, and I do know that mentorship opportunities, service hours for those older kiddos is something important. And then SEL and executive functioning skills are also at the core of our curriculum, making sure students can express themselves, they're building community, they're engaging in community service. So that is really what sets us apart at the core. I think when it comes specifically for Ottawa, all of our programs would be on your campuses. So the need for busing off-site would no longer be a discussion or a need. We also are really, really proud to be equitable and accessible for all of your families, and that will reflect in the pricing that we've specifically curated for Ottawa caregivers and families. And then finally, Superintendent Darlington took Emily and I on a little tour of your schools. They're beautiful schools. You have beautiful playgrounds and open facilities, your cafeterias and your gyms, your classrooms, they're decorated amazing. I really respect that as a former teacher. So you have a wonderful on-site setup, and we want to be able to utilize your facilities and take advantage of those facilities. Now, really getting into the locally inspired program design. So as a parent, and I know many of you work with students, you have children of your own, structure and predictability is really, really important. And what we like to design for after school and before school programs is a predictable model that incorporates things like a town hall, coming together, building community. We always want our kids to move around, so utilizing your playground, doing things like structured obstacle courses, getting kids up and moving is very important. And then we have what's called our flexible enrichment block. So there's a few different things that we can do. We can take advice and suggestions from school leaders, district leaders. We can make that a homework time. We can incorporate personal learning time like MTSS or intervention if you already have something that you've adopted like iReady. We have built 180 days worth of disguised learning activities that incorporate STEM, world language, arts and crafts. I've seen this firsthand. The kids really, really love it, and they're building some really amazing things. Just piggybacking off of that, you'll see some of the additional subjects that we like to bring in and interweave into our curriculum. We want kids to be kids, so this is not something where they're like, oh, 3 more hours of school. That's why it's called disguised learning. We want to make sure that they're having fun, but that they're still like exercising the very things that they learned during the school day. Play-based activities, time for playground games, and then we're very student focused. So we want to hear from students. We take student surveys. We ask them what they want to do. So it's an amazing program that, again, is an extension of the school day and making sure that learning is continuing to happen even after that bell rings. Finally, the next biggest point I would say that as a former educator, I really appreciate, and I know that the districts that we work with really appreciate, is our training and professional development. We do hire all of the instructors that would be a part of your programs. We would love to welcome Ottawa District employees to be our instructors as well. I'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. But for your paraprofessionals, aides, teachers that want to stay after school, stay on your campuses, continue to be a part of these after-school activities, we give them additional ongoing training, professional development that just aids them in their career and helps them further their education in supporting children. Union collaboration. So this is something that that we're really proud of as well. I just referenced it, but we do like to offer right of first refusal to Ottawa paras, aides, teachers to apply for right at school positions. It doesn't take any job, it doesn't replace what they're doing during the school day. It gives them an additional channel of income, additional opportunity to work with your students, get some additional professional development and training. We are very proud to offer Ottawa Elementary District employees a 50% discount for childcare. And then for any of those Ottawa Elementary employees that also become right at school employees, they will receive 100% childcare discount. So we want to honor and celebrate those that are continuing their day through pickup time. This is very near and dear to my heart. I worked in a Title I school when I was a teacher, and inclusivity is extremely essential. It's a core value. We believe that all students should be able to participate and attend our programs. We pride ourselves in supporting our instructors and the Ottawa families with comprehensive resources to ensure that every child has what they need to succeed in the after-school programs. What that means is upon enrolling in our program, we actually ask for what accommodations for their IEP or other programs that they're receiving during the day. And we try to model those as best as possible in the after-school program. We align with those accommodations. We provide inclusive activities and alternative activities to better serve those students. And then we have a full special education certified RAS team that aids in our boots on the ground instructor training. I'm not going to go through all of this, but this is a nice little curated crosswalk that we did for you. It takes some of the strategic goals that y'all have and aligns them with what RAS or Right at School provides, the value, the impact that really go hand in hand with what you all are trying to do in 26-27. More family engagement, data-driven decision-making, SEL and behavior activities and curriculum. All of these things align with what we're trying to do and what we will provide for your students. Again, not going to go through all of this, but I just wanted to remind everybody that even though we are in April and school year 26-27 does start August 11th, we are on a perfect timeline. So we are very, very confident that even if any sort of decision goes into May, we will be able to fully staff and fully open up our services if that's the direction you all choose to go towards by August 11th to serve your caregivers, families, and students on site at Ottawa School District. And I would love, along with my SVP Emily, to answer any questions or address any concerns that y'all may have. Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you all so much. Really, really appreciate the time and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for welcoming me.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 7, open forum. It's recommended that the Board of Education conduct an open forum, inviting any person in attendance at the meeting with an opportunity to address the Board of Education in accordance with its policies. Is there anyone who would like to address the board? All right, hearing none and seeing none, we will move on. Agenda item number 8, approval of the agenda. It's recommended that the Board of Education approve the agenda as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mary Beth, second by Eric. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? None. Agenda item number 9, code of conduct for members of the school board. Brendan, could you take that, please?
Yes, sir. As a member of my local school board, I will do my utmost to represent the public interest in education by adhering to the following standards and principles. I will strive for a positive working relationship with the superintendent, respecting the superintendent's authority to advise the board, implement board policy, and administer the district.
All right, thank you very much. Agenda item number 10, approval of minutes, financial records, and monthly bills. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the minutes from the regular board meeting on March 24th, 2026, monthly bills and financial records as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mary, second by Lori. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mrs. Kimes?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Gainier?
Yes.
Mrs. Manigold?
Yes.
Mrs. Gainier?
Yes.
Mr. Conley?
Yes. Agenda item number 11 is approval of the annual review of hazardous conditions. It's recommended that the Board of Education approve the annual review of hazardous conditions.
So moved.
Motion by Lori,
Second.
second by Brendan. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? None. Agenda item number 12, second reading of policy 660. It's recommended that the Board of Education approve the second reading of board policy 660.
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
Brendan, second by Mary Beth. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mrs. Kimes?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Gainier?
Yes.
Mrs. Manigold?
Yes.
Mrs. Gainier?
Yes.
Mr. Conley?
Yes. Agenda item number 13. It is recommended that the Board of Education adopt policy 660.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Brendan, second by Eric. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mrs. Kimes?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Gainier?
Yes.
Mrs. Manigold?
Yes.
Mrs. Gainier?
Yes.
Mr. Conley?
Yes. Agenda item number 14, approval of IESA membership dues and fees. It's recommended that the Board of Education approve the annual IESA membership dues and fees for 7th and 8th grade in the amount of $1,540. 7th and 8th grade golf in the amount of $540. 5th and 6th grade in the amount of $275 for a total membership cost of $2,355.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Lori, second by Brendan. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mrs. Kimes?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Gainier?
Yes.
Mrs. Manigold?
Yes.
Mrs. Gainier?
Yes.
Mr. Conley?
Yes. Agenda item number 15, approval of Title I school-wide programming plans. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve Central, Intermediate, Jefferson Elementary, Lincoln Elementary, McKinley Elementary, and Shepherd Middle School as Title I school-wide programs.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mary, second by Mary Beth. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? None. Thank you. Agenda item number 16, approval of the fiscal year 2027 ISBE Consolidated District Plan. It's recommended that the Board of Education approve the fiscal year 27 ISBA Consolidated District Plan.
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion by Eric, second by Mary. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mrs. Kimes?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Gainier?
Yes.
Mrs. Manigold?
Yes.
Mrs. Gainier?
Yes.
Mr. Conley?
Yes. Okay, agenda item number 17, the 2026 through 2031 strategic plan presentation.
All right, a lot of presentations tonight. So I am here to present the entire plan. If you remember back in November, we talked a little bit about the mission and vision and value statements that we had gone through in October and November. And then in January and February, we had another group of people, about 50 people that came together to work on the strategic plan. So this is the entire plan presented to you for, hopefully after this presentation, adoption and implementation. So as a reminder, our mission that we came up with was the OES community will provide a well-rounded quality education while fostering a collaborative environment where all are welcomed, valued, and secure. So our vision was belong, learn, grow. We are OES. And when we took a look at our values and beliefs, the 4 there are the ones that we came up with after several activities. Community built on relationships, open communication, and shared purpose. Growth through academic excellence, strong character, creativity, and continuous learning. A welcoming environment where all feel physically and emotionally secure, supported, and accepted, and then empowering all of our students to possess a sense of purpose and belief in their own potential. So once we got through that process, we reviewed that at our strategic plan, and then what we did was we came together again and we created our pillars. So the 5 pillars that you see up there are our students, our team, our families, our community, and our resources. And those 5 came out of an activity that we did with the entire group of stakeholders that we had here for those 3 nights. And once we created those pillars, then what we did was we created the anchor statement that went underneath it. So we said, these are our 5 categories that we feel are the most important within our school district and within our community. And then we took it a step further. It's a little bit hard to see because it's a little small there, but with our students, when we look at the anchor statement that goes along with that, our students will experience growth through a quality, inclusive education in a safe and secure environment where they feel empowered to grow into their potential as lifelong learners and community members. So with those anchor statements, anything that we do within our pillar of our students, this is what we always want to keep in mind throughout these 5 years as we're going through the strategic plan, when we're coming up with initiatives, when we are starting to do a lot of this work. That's the core, the anchor statement of what that pillar is all about. And then underneath it, you'll see the initiatives that we'd like to work on through 2026 through 2031. So for example, when we look at our students, ensure that we have a guaranteed, viable, and inclusive curriculum for every student, build an equitable and coherent continuum of student supports, cultivate the whole child development through SEL, social emotional learning, and community engagement. Expand and enrich student learning experiences and strengthen transitions, partnerships, and student recognitions. So those are all of our initiatives for each one of those areas. I won't read them all to you, but then what we did was we'll take each of these. This is as far as we had gotten within the group work that we did with all of us. Then our district leadership team sat down 5 times with those 5 different areas, and we went through. And before we had left that night, the groups had talked about some things that they would like to see, initiatives they would like to see, measurable outcomes in terms of our students. We looked for the similarities within those, and we talked a lot about each of those. So when you look at the 5 circles at the top, those are the ones that I had just read to you. And then if you go straight down, you'll kind of see the measurable outcomes that we came up with for each one. So when we talk about ensuring a guaranteed, viable, and inclusive curriculum for every student, what we want to work on over the next 5 years is improving attendance rates across all student groups. 100% of schools will implement a multi-tiered system of support, MTSS, that addresses academic behavior and social needs. And we want to increase training and support to address student behavioral needs. And then when you look at that next column there, making sure, when we build an equitable and coherent curriculum of student supports, 100% of core content areas undergo a formal content review cycle. We want to have that 100% of our students are reading at grade level by grade 3. We know that is not going to happen year 1, but that's the goal. We never want to say that we want to leave any of our students behind. So over these 5 years, we want to be able to see that grow as we go through and explore specialized and advanced opportunities for learning. So all of these things are things that came out of a lot of conversations within our tables, a lot of similarities of things that had happened. So we have each of these for each of our 5 areas. So looking at our team, we want to make sure that 100% of our staff will participate in aligned role-specific professional development annually. Just looking at a few of those there, updating the application process for our OES staff so that's a little bit more manageable. Establishing district-wide collaboration across departments. So again, all of these that are underneath there are things that came out of those conversations. And when the DLT sat down, we looked at all of those and then tried to figure out how can we word that so that we know it's something that we want to work on within these 5 years. So each of our areas, our families, they have the 3 there. We want to be able to strengthen clear, consistent, and accessible communication. And every word was very intentional when we did this. We knew that we were communicating with our families, but we wanted to strengthen that communication. So even just looking at that word, if you weren't a part of that process, if you were there, you knew how intentional we were with some of our wording when we did these, but we want to make sure that it's clear, it's consistent, it's accessible, and expand formal engagement and partnerships with our families, and then expand family supports and educational resources to ensure student success. So again, we've got our measurable outcomes underneath there, and same thing with our community, and then our resources. And so what we're doing next is in June, our district leadership team is sitting down and we're going to decide what do we want to begin in year 1 in each of our pillars. So each of those 5 pillars, what do we want to start? Maybe one of our activities that we did was kind of what do we need to start? What do we need to get rid of? And what do we need to strengthen that we're already doing? So it might be something very simple that you hear us present in the fall of, we have, X program, but here's how we're going to make it a little bit better. Here's how we're going to strengthen it. And we're going to work on that throughout the year. And then just a continuous cycle of review of that. So we're going to do, 30-day check-ins, 60-day check-ins, 90-day check-ins when we talk about those as a district leadership team, and then update the Board of Education along the way throughout that 26-27 school year for each building. So while we're talking about what we're doing as an entire district, you're going to be able to hear from each of our building leaders to see how they're implementing some of those different things that we come up with in June within their building, kind of quarterly as we go through, and you'll be able to hear what's actually happening and how each of those pieces are going. So any questions, concerns, comments? But again, one of the biggest things that came out of this is just like John said with your health or with your facilities assessment plan, we don't want this to sit on the shelf. We want it to be something that we're constantly looking at, constantly talking about, making sure that the decisions we make are represented within this strategic plan. So every time we're thinking about changing a program or adding a program or strengthening a partnership, is it within our strategic plan? Is it what we talked about as a group of stakeholders? And as a reminder, those stakeholders were our teachers, our faculty, our families, our parents, community members, and our district leaders, and then our board members. So we heard from every area of our community in terms of that.
Questions, comments?
No, it's
concerns?
just very reflective of the hard work that went into it.
Yeah, I agree.
The conciseness of it, greatly appreciated, greatly appreciated.
Absolutely, I'm excited to get started. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think it's too wordy, but I like concise. And I don't think it's concise, but we'll live with it.
It's more concise than when it began.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Let's see, how many pages was the old one?
Okay, thank you again. Agenda item number 18, approval and adoption of the strategic plan. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve and adopt the 2026-2031 strategic plan as presented by Ms. Darlington.
So moved.
Motion by Brendan.
Second.
Who's my second? Mary Beth. All right. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mrs. Kimes?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Gainier?
Yes.
Mrs. Manigold?
Yes.
Mrs. Gainier?
Yes.
Mr. Conley?
Yes. Agenda item number 19, the map presentation.
All right. Good evening. I'm excited to be here. I know that I shared some of this information with you in the February board packet, and thank you for being patient upon my return back from leave. So I wanted to take a few minutes to share some exciting news with you and show some of the growth that we've made. So with that being said, these are just some simple reports from fall to winter showing where the average RIT score was across the board from kindergarten through 8th grade, looking at our reading achievement. And so I'll get to a few slides further in to show some of the work that we have put in already with the K-4 with the new curriculum. But as you can see, we've made some really nice growth from fall to winter. And oftentimes in MAP, we will see a dip sometimes in winter and then we bounce back in the spring, but we're really seeing a lot of positive growth this year. So that's exciting. And the same for math. Math as a state, there's definitely been some struggle with math with the standards across the board. So we're kind of taking a look. Once we are up and running fully with ELA, that will be the next subject that we'll be looking at to possibly look at some new materials and some different alignment there as well. But this is the one that I think really shows the numbers. It's hard sometimes to know what those numbers mean, but these next series of graphs that I'm going to show you. So observed growth is in blue and the projected growth is the diamond. So anything that's above the diamond or at the diamond is the growth. And remember, this is just from fall to winter. So we still have till spring, but we've made some significant growth along the way. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with Jefferson at the top with language arts. And then if you look to the middle, there's math. And then some questions had come in about language arts. We only test language in grade 2nd grade and above. So that's why there's not any kindergarten or 1st grade data there. That's a MAP assessment. That's not something that's offered for kindergarten and 1st grade. And then we'll move on to Lincoln. Again, we see a lot of blue above the diamonds, which is what we're looking for. And McKinley. So really positive growth when you're looking at where those kiddos came in the fall to where we're at currently winter, and we'll be excited. I would like to come back again in the spring and show you the final full year growth as well. And we have Central.
So you'll be back to give us the whole.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I think IAR data is important, but MAP is really kind of showing more real time while the kids are with us. We have the kids in front of us that we're able to make some of those data-driven decisions to inform our instruction. And then we have Shepherd. So this is what we currently have in place. The next piece with the adoption of HMH in K through 4, they have partnered with, the two have partnered together. So with that being said, when you first look at this, this is showing beginning of the year growth to middle of the year growth. Now the numbers are a little bit lower. They're not all of our students because as we adopted this program, we wanted to give teachers grace to really, jump into the program. We did not require all of the online assessments, so we wanted some of them to have some time. So we have teachers that are giving these assessments. It might just be the paper pencil versus getting on the iPad to take it, because it is a lot harder with the littles to get them up and running in the beginning on an iPad. But this was some exciting growth that they were able to collect through HMH.
How many were we missing? Teachers, I mean, doing the old instead of the computers.
I would have to go back and look. I don't know which teacher. I mean, we didn't survey.
It wasn't a lot though.
No, I would say, honestly, probably the younger grades, kinder is the hardest one for them to get on. And I know we even had a couple teachers
say, okay, we're going to take the paper pencil and then try to input it into there, but you have to literally log on as the student and enter it. And so it just wasn't the best use of their time, but we're definitely seeing, they are able to track the amount of usage, and it's definitely went up. And we expect that anytime you're learning something new, the most important piece is the instruction and content. So with that being said, I had a meeting probably about 3 weeks ago. HMH called me and that they said that they were so impressed with our data because they're tracking it as well under version 3. And they actually asked if we would be a spotlight school district to highlight our growth. So I will be meeting with them probably in a couple weeks. They've got some interview questions because this next slide is what is probably the most exciting one out of all of it. So if you look at this, the black bar is the expected growth by the end of the year, and the pink bar is where we're at midway through. So we are almost in some of the grade levels made the whole year's growth by middle of the year, which is really exciting. And again, the amazing growth in K1. Some of those kiddos, it's the first time they've ever had, so I don't want to downplay that there was less growth there. That's amazing, significant growth for those little ones coming in the door who may have never had any school, who may have never sat down and actually looked at letters and tried to you know, have a phonics lesson or sit down and read. So really, really hands down to our staff. They've done an amazing job implementing the curriculum. And I always say, implementing any new curriculum is difficult, but ELA is one of the hardest ones because there's a lot that goes into it. It's not strictly just the content like math, science, and social studies. They're a little bit easier to get off the ground running than an ELA curriculum. So we just wanted to share that exciting news. I'll be back in a couple minutes to talk to you about 5th through 8th, but I thought this was a nice segue to get into that, to say that, you know, even though it is stressful, it's been hard, but the hard work that our staff has put in is really paying off because our students are clearly benefiting that. So again, I'll be back in the spring and hopefully maybe our pink bars will be above the black ones, but I was really excited when they shared this with me because I think this is nice evidence to see what we're doing is working.
Chris, will this be shared with staff?
Yes, yep, we will be sharing that. So I will be sharing that and making these slides available to building admin as well, and they could take that back to share with staff. Any questions? All right, well, thank you.
It was good.
Thank you. Agenda item number 20. It is recommended that the Board of Education authorize the superintendent to sign the subscriber agreement with Community Solar when savings, capacity, and project availability are all established.
Can you explain that a little bit? What this is all about?
So if you remember, this was something that Chris Torres and I had been working on with Community Solar all year long. And the first step was really to look at our bills to see if there was any energy savings at all. They were able to find some areas that we could begin saving energy on if we're able to join in on one of these one of the farms that they have established there. But in order to do that, what she simply said was that you have to authorize us to do that as soon as it comes up. So when it could be tomorrow, it could be 3 months from now, it could be 6 months from now. So it's just, like we said, they've analyzed the bills, they know there's savings there, and she is now working to find that capacity and find the project availability for us to join in on one of those farms there. So there's no cost to us, it's simply a savings in that sense. So sometimes what they said happens is all of those stars align, but then you don't have a board meeting for another 3 weeks. And then when you do have the board meeting and you authorize that, then the availability is already gone. So you have to start back over again.
So they only accept a certain amount of people?
Correct,
To do
yeah,
this?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep, depending on the capacity of each farm, solar farm that they have in each panel that they have.
And no cost to our district.
No cost to our district.
It's just a cost saving measure.
A cost saving measure, yep.
Well, I'd say so moved.
All right, motion by Mary Beth, second by Lori. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mrs. Kimes?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Gainier,
Yes.
Mrs. Manigold,
Yes.
Mrs. Gainier,
Yes.
Mr. Conley,
Yes. Agenda item number 21, approval of the 5th through 8th grade ELA curriculum adoption by HMH.
All right, I'm back.
She's back. Don't give me one. I read them all. You know, those are very heavy books, just saying.
Would you propose they make them lighter?
Well, I'll tell you, I brought all those home.
Yeah.
It was
I'm
like
just
the
joking,
little cartoon with the kid falling over. Yeah, they're heavy.
All right. Well, while some of you are kind of glancing at those, first of all, I wanted to take a moment to thank two of our visitors today. They were a part of our committee. So we did get a committee together of 5th through 8th grade staff as well as admin, and we took a look at 2 different publishers, and the committee did vote on HMH to have further alignment from kindergarten through 8th grade. We actually had HMH come back twice and present, so we took some time to thoroughly go through and take a look at what was going to best meet the needs of our students. So with that being said, the quotes that you have in the board packet, it would be a total of $379,233.21, but out of district dollars, it would be $280,833.21, because I am able to purchase some of the supplemental materials from our Title I grant, as well as take out the professional development piece of $18,400. So what we did is we looked at there, obviously it's a lot lower than what the K4, but K4, you need a lot more materials. You need the guided reading sets, you need tabletop mini lessons. So we don't need those materials. One of the things that you'll also notice in here is they have added a component called Writable, and it was not available last year. So I have asked them to include a 2-year quote for 3rd and 4th grade to keep them on the same payment track. And it's a really neat feature for writing. So what you're looking at is an all-encompassing curriculum. So this would be our whole ELA block: reading, phonics, writing, everything all in one. So we would no longer have 2 separate programs. But the writable component was a really neat feature that they're offering, that kids can anonymously peer edit one another's work. The teachers can also then apply a rubric and grade it as well. But we were actually able to kind of test it out amongst ourselves, and we thought it would be something really neat, and that we would like to bring it down to the 3rd and 4th grade level as well. So lots of really nice things in there. There is the digital version as well as the hard copy. So the only books the students would have would be the My Book that they would carry with them. All of the other books would stay in the classroom, and then we would have the digital component as well. And then we would look at purchasing additional novels for classroom sets, so that because there is still something to be said about holding a good old-fashioned book in your hands when you read. So there's a lot of really nice things you can do online, but we do want to look at that. So the next step would be, after approval, to meet with our committee again and then sit down and map out what novels we would do through 6th through 8th grade. And 5th grade would follow the same as our K4. So the K5 curriculum is into reading, which we currently have through 4th grade, but we weren't sure what it was going to look like with 5th through 8th. So we wanted to wait and make sure that 5th grade was going to fit in there nicely. So they would follow that same pattern, which will be really nice for the incoming 5th graders, because they'll already been in that program for 4th grade. So those kiddos will come in ready to go, and then we'll start and launch this for the beginning of next year with training. Any questions?
Very exciting to have it across the board.
Go ahead, Lori.
It's very exciting to have a curriculum that will go all the way across the grade levels, because that hasn't been able to happen.
Yeah, I looked at the 5th and the 6th and went through all of the books, and they're awesome. I do like the reading materials for 5th grade better than 6th, but that's just my thing.
Is that a matter of taste, Mary? Is that...
Hey, I checked them all out.
I was glad to see in the 8th grade stuff that some of those stories that the older editions were still in there, because that was reassuring to me that those were classic pieces of literature and that they
Mhm.
stayed in the
Yeah.
curriculum.
Yes.
And I know, you don't want to, teachers like having some familiarity when you start a new thing. I mean, you can kind of feel a little more comfort level when you look in there and say, oh yeah, that's one we've done, you know? So that was exciting. I love the fact that the writing is now incorporated as part of this
Mhm.
instead of a separate program, because I know that there's been a lot of discussion about the frustration with that.
Yes.
So this is fantastic. Mhm. Nice job, committee.
You did well.
All right.
Okay. Any other questions, comments?
All right. Well, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Chris. And by the
Thanks,
way,
Chris.
on behalf of the board, we'd like to wish you a happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday.
So it is recommended that the Board of Education approve the 5th and 6th grade ELA curriculum adoption with HMH in the amount of $379,233.21.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Lori, second by, was it
Eric.
Eric? All right. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mrs. Kimes?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Gainier?
Yes.
Mrs. Manigold?
Yes.
Mrs. Gainier?
Yes.
Mr. Conley?
Yes. Agenda item number 22, approval of iPad purchase. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the request to purchase 400 11th generation iPads with Logitech cases in the amount of $173,580. Payment for this purchase will come from the 26-27 technology budget.
Yes, good evening. The quote that you have is for those 400 iPads for our second grade class next year and for our fifth graders. So, yep, and I'm here to entertain any questions that you may have regarding it, the quote.
So this is kind of a rotation kind of thing?
Yes.
That you guys use to out with the old and with the new kind
Correct.
of? What is the life of the ones we've had? How old are those that you're replacing?
You mean the lifespan of
No,
the?
how long have we had those ones? You said you're gonna be replacing, what'd you say, second grade and fifth grade?
Second grade and fifth grade.
Okay, how long, the ones that they're using, how long have we had those particular ones?
The ones that they're currently using, the current second grade and current fifth graders, I believe, are using the iPad Gen 11s. Because we purchased iPads over the summer.
Okay.
And then, so the ones I'm recommending is second and fifth grade. And then for second and fifth, those are iPads Gen 11s. So those were just recently purchased.
Okay.
Now, the older models that we do have are Gen 8s. Those would be the ones that we're looking to do the buyback for. Those were purchased in 2020. They're pretty much at the end of their life.
That's what I was asking.
Yep.
Thank you.
Second and fifth grade, they don't have the Gen 8s currently. So to answer your question. Any other questions?
We're good.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, can I have a motion?
So moved.
Mary, or give the second to Mary Beth. All right. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mrs. Kimes?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Gainier?
Yes.
Mrs. Manigold?
Yes.
Mrs. Gainier?
Yes.
Mr. Conley?
Yes. Agenda item number 23, approval of the 26-27 insurance premiums with Blue Cross Blue Shield. It is recommended that the board approve the medical insurance premiums with BCBS of Illinois for $4,084,037. Dental insurance premium with Guardian for $193,869. Life insurance premium with Standard Life for $30,666, and voluntary vision insurance premium with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois for $16,207, for a total of $4,324,779. The estimated increase to medical insurance is 29.5%, and an additional $930,345 for the 26-27 school year.
Nobody wants to make a motion.
Staggering.
So moved.
All right, motion by Eric, second by Mary. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mrs. Kimes?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Gainier?
Yes.
Mrs. Manigold?
Yes.
Mrs. Gainier?
Yes.
Mr. Conley?
Yes. Agenda item number 24, approval of curriculum and technology reports. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the curriculum and technology reports, including the curriculum report, tech report, and maintenance report.
So moved.
Motion by Mary Beth, second by Lori. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? None. Agenda item number 25, acceptance of superintendent's reports. It's recommended that the Board of Education approve the superintendent's reports as presented, including the enrollment report, cafeteria report, discipline report, important dates, and FOIA requests.
So moved.
Motion by Mary,
Second.
second by Brendan. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? None. Thank you. Agenda item number 26, approval of resignations. It's recommended that the Board of Education approve the resignations of the following: Christina Latino, paraprofessional at McKinley Elementary School, effective March 27th, 2026. Is it Joaquina? Joaquina Gutierrez, lunch server at Lincoln Elementary School, effective April 21st, 2026. Rachel Harstead, paraprofessional at Central Intermediate School at the end of the 25-26 school year. Delaney Lyon, paraprofessional at Lincoln Elementary, effective at the end of the 25-26 school year. And Abby Cates, paraprofessional at Lincoln Elementary, effective April 27, 26.
So moved.
Motion by Brendan,
Second.
second by Eric. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mrs. Kimes?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Gainier?
Yes.
Mrs. Manigold?
Yes.
Mrs. Gainier?
Yes.
Mr. Conley?
Yes. Agenda item number 27, approval of transfer. It's recommended that the Board of Education approve the transfer of Rachel Rehor, receptionist at Lincoln Elementary, to building secretary at Lincoln Elementary, effective for the 26-27 school year.
So moved.
Motion by Mary, second by Brendan. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mrs. Kimes?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Gainier?
Yes.
Mrs. Manigold?
Yes.
Mrs. Gainier?
Yes.
Mr. Conley?
Yes. Agenda item number 28, approval of personnel. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the appointment of the following personnel: Claire DeWalt, 7th grade science teacher for the 26-27 school year; Abigail Cates, pending certification as a 6th grade teacher at Central Intermediate for the 26-27 school year; Joni Thrush, assistant principal at Central Intermediate School, effective August 1st, 2026; Heather Michener, 6th grade teacher at Central Intermediate School for the 26-27 school year; Grace McGrath, pending licensure as the paraprofessional at Central Intermediate School; Delaney Lyon, pending licensure, 2nd grade teacher at Lincoln Elementary School, effective the 26-27 school year; Sophie Whistler, 6th grade teacher at Central Intermediate School for the 26-27 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mary Beth, second by Lori. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mrs. Kimes?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Gainier?
Yes.
Mrs. Manigold?
Yes.
Mrs. Gainier?
Yes.
Mr. Conley?
Yes. Agenda item number 29, approval of the FMLA maternity leave of Lainey Kurtovic, psychologist at Lincoln Elementary School, on or about Friday, May 1st, to return on or about Monday, September 21st, 2026.
So moved.
Motion by Lori,
Second.
second by Brendan. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mrs. Kimes?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Gainier?
Yes.
Mrs. Manigold?
Yes.
Mrs. Gainier?
Yes.
Mr. Conley?
Yes. Agenda item number 30, approval of retirement. It's recommended that the Board of Education approve the retirement of Amy Shepard, second grade teacher at Jefferson Elementary, to retire at the end of the 29-30 school year utilizing the 4-year option.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Eric, second by Mary Beth. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mrs. Kimes?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Gainier?
Yes.
Mrs. Manigold?
Yes.
Mrs. Gainier?
Yes.
Mr. Conley?
Yes. Agenda item number 31, executive session. It's recommended that the board enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, contract negotiations, and reviewing the executive minutes from the regular board meeting of March 24th, 2026, and to discuss individual student issues.
So moved.
Motion by Brendan, second by Eric. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Mrs. Kimes?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Gainier? Mrs. Manigold?
Yes.
Mrs. Gainier?
Yes.
Mr. Conley?
Yes.